Hi guys, this is Becky and thank you so much for watching my channel. I did this summer makeup tutorial for you guys. It's just a basic neutral eye with a pop of color right there in the inner corner of my eyes, as you can see. I really like that pop of color because it just makes the look more fun and interesting and really perfect for summer. And I paired that with some soft coral peachy cheeks and lips. So just keep on watching if you want to learn how I did this look, and this video is going to be packed with all kinds of makeup tips. So I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so what I've already done is I moisturized my face and I applied my lip balm. Carmex, as always, I swear by this product. And if you know if you're going to be exposed to the sun, make sure you wear sunblock or sunscreen. And I highly recommend the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Liquid Daily Sunblock. It has SPF 55, it's very sheer, and it lays invisibly under makeup. I also filled in my eyebrows, and it really does make a difference when you fill in your eyebrows because it just kind of like frames your whole face, especially your eyes, and it makes your makeup look more finished and polished. I'm going to create a base for my eyes, and you can either use MAC's Paint Pot liquid foundation. I just like to use my liquid concealer, and this is by Almay, the Line Smoothing Concealer. And what I like to do is just apply some a little bit on my lid. And I'm just going to use my ring finger to spread it and blend it. And I'm going to take that all the way to the brow bone, and this will just even out the skin tone on the lid. I like to finish that concealer with a powder, and this is my Mark's Powder Buff Foundation with just like a flat top brush, and I'm just going to brush that onto the lid just to set that concealer. The primer I'm going to use is by Mark, and it's their Please Hold Eye Primer. This one right here. Just with my ring finger, I'm just going to dab it lightly. Just want a really thin layer, and this is what's going to prevent your eyeshadows from creasing, and it will make it last longer. And I'm also going to apply some in the inner corner of the eye and on the lower lash line. Onto the eyeshadows, I'm going to take my 28 neutral palette right here, and I'm using a fluffy blending brush, and this is the Sigma SS224, really comparable to the MAC 224. And I'm going to use this color right here, which is like a soft brown. The color is like very similar to either MAC's Cork or MAC's Texture. I'm going to apply that color above my crease. Okay, so this is my crease right here where the eye socket sinks in, and I'm just applying that color above it. It's like right here, almost on the brow bone. So I'm just going to apply that, and this will help with the transition color and with the blending of the eyeshadows. So next I'm going to take this really light pink eyeshadow right here, and I'm just using a fluffy and fat shader brush, and I'm using this one just to apply the color on the lid like so. Okay, so next I want to define my crease right here in the outer corner using a dark brown eyeshadow, and I'm going to use this one right here, and with my e.l.f. blending brush I'm going to use it as a crease brush. If you have the MAC 217, which is kind of similar to this brush, you could go ahead and use that too. And I'm just going to start on the outer corner of the eye, and I'm just going to use circular motions like that. Okay, and I'm just going to drag that color on the outer 1/3 of my crease, feeling where my eye socket is at, and I'm just going over that. See, circular motion. And just feeling it, feeling my crease. And it's really helpful when I raise my brows like that and kind of just pull my head back. It's easier for me to find my crease. So just like that. So for the lower lash line, just to kind of even out the eye makeup, I'm going to use the same dark brown color that I used earlier, and just with an angled liner brush, I'm just going to line my eyes or the lower lash line like that. Okay, for highlight, I'm going to use this really pale pink eyeshadow right here. You probably can't see it in camera, but if you have MAC's Yogurt, it's really comparable to that color. I mean, you could barely see the pink in it. It's just a really light, extremely like really pale pink. So with that same brush that I use on my lids, I'm just going to apply that on the brow bone as the highlight, like so. Okay, And I'm going to get the same blending brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to dip that onto the same soft brown eyeshadow. And I'm just going to apply that above the crease because I kind of lost that color, and also to kind of blend that crease color that we put. Okay, just like so. So now for the fun part, for that pop of color, I'm going to use my eyeshadow by Milani, and this is the Green Mist eyeshadow. It's just a really pretty shimmery lime green color. So you don't have to use the same green color that I'm going to use. You can use whatever you know, like a bright summer eyeshadow color you prefer. You can use either like a shimmery yellow or like a shimmery orange. It's totally up to you. I'm going to use a small shader brush, and I'm going to dip that onto that lime green shadow. And I'm using a small shader brush because it fits just right in that inner corner of the eye. You see that? So you can use this eyeshadow wet or dry. If you use it wet, it's just going to intensify that color even more. But you know, to be honest, Milani eyeshadows, you don't even have to worry about their pigmentation. They are bright and they're very pigmented. I love Milani eyeshadows. So I'm just going to pat that in the inner corner, and I'm going to put some right here, kind of like in the inner one-fourth. Yeah, inner 1/4 of my lower lash line. Just like so. My eyes, I'm going to use a gel liner, and this is by Sonia Kashuk in Ebony. It's just a basic black cream liner or gel liner, and I really like using gel liner for the summer just because it doesn't smudge, it doesn't budge, and it stays put all day. So I just want a nice thin line, and I'm not going to do like a crazy cat eye or whatever. You just want a nice thin line on the upper lash line. Same thing on the waterline. I'm telling you guys, gel liners, it stays put. And by the way, you can get this Sonia Kashuk cream liner, gel liner, whatever, at Target. Okay, so I'm just going to clean out all the fallout. That's why I do my eye makeup first. And I'll be back with my face makeup. What I use for the rest of my face is I use my Almay Line Smoothing Concealer. And you can get this at your local drugstore. This is like my everyday concealer. It has SPF 10. It's a liquid concealer, so it's easier to apply. And I just kind of apply that under my eye to conceal, you know, dark circles that I have. And I just kind of blend it with my ring finger. And then I just apply that around my nose where I get, you know, a little bit of redness just to conceal that, and then darkness around my mouth. And then just to conceal blemishes that I have on my face. After concealer, I applied a tinted moisturizer, and I really like the one by Marc. This is their Get a Tint Tinted Moisturizer. And I just apply this all over my face with my fingers. You know, it just kind of evens out my skin tone, and it's really lightweight, really great for summer. I prefer using a tinted moisturizer as opposed to like a liquid or a cream foundation, which tends to be heavier, especially if I know I'm going to be under the hot sun. They tend to melt on you, so you don't want that. I'm just using a powder blush by MAC, and this is Melba, which is a nice soft coral peach color. And I'm just using a stippling brush, and I'm just going to stipple that onto my cheek. Next is bronzer, and I really like bronzer because this is what's going to give you that nice summer glow. So I'm using the one by Milani, and this is their powder Mosaic Afterglow. You can get this at your local drugstore. And I'm just going to use that with a fluffy angled blush brush. And I'm just going to do kind of like an E on my face, starting on my temple, like that. And then sweep it down under your cheekbones, and then onto your jawline, just like that, like an E. Just like that. I'm going to use a lip gloss instead of a lipstick. It's easier to reapply throughout the day, and you don't have to worry about it melting on you. And I'm just using a nice coral pink color that really complements that pop of green that we put on the eyes. And this is by Marc. They're Glow Baby Glow Luxe and Lotus Luxe. So that's the shade. And that's the finished look, you guys. I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and I'll see you guys soon in my next video.